Hello and welcome to another episode of Baggers Chat, live from the Baggers Chat studio, boys. We're not live to the audience, but we're filming it live as we speak.
We may need to get a little crowd in.
We may have to get them to clap,
especially
live audience,
especially come finals time.
Oh, here we
Big
go.
episodes for that.
Alrighty, how are we, boys? We good?
Very well. How are you?
Relax.
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking, mate. No one ever asked, but thank you. Alrighty. This week we'll be previewing the mighty Adelaide clash. This Sunday night, is it at 4:40 p.m. at Marvel Stadium?
Yep.
We all going?
Yeah, mate. The graveyard shift.
I don't know. It's Mother's Day, so you got to treat your mother's
Priorities
first.
Sunday.
Priorities, exactly right. So see you at the footy. All right.
With the mother.
I'm taking the mother. So.
Yep.
My mum lives in Tassie, so it's all right.
It's all right.
Last time we met, does anyone remember? 83 to the Blues, 73 Adelaide.
Yeah.
It's one of those interesting
I actually
games.
forgot that it was that close. Because I didn't think that it was that close. Because I know that Shoal missed that shot, but I actually forgot that we were. They were pretty
we
close.
We kind of crapped the bed in the last 5 or so minutes.
We went together, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a typical Carlton performance. Can't put the foot down.
Yeah.
Which we've seen unfortunately at the start of the year, but.
I must have not been there. I didn't go with you guys today.
You rarely go with us. One thing we will mention, Lewis Young. Common sense does prevail, and he will be playing this week, we assume. So, Jack Speechley, do you want to run us through what unfolded at the tribunal, mate? You were there?
I wasn't there, but I was following along on Twitter with all the tribunal stuff, and it was an interesting hearing because the AFL was trying to argue that his head was over the ball, and they were talking about angles, and it was really weird. But I think the main thing that got us over the line was, I think, Lewis Young in his statement, and then Eloy backed it up, that we described Zerha as a raging bull. And that was enough to convince the jury to absolutely throw out the case, so that was good.
Yeah. We'll stick with you, mate. Just on the Horn Francis and Jack Silvani thing, what was your opinion on that?
I think it's a little bit stiff that everyone's back in Horn Francis, the bloke that hit Sauce in the back of the head for no reason after he kicked it, and then all of a sudden he's the hero for standing up to the crappy Silvani and gets a game because of his dad.
Yeah.
Rah, rah, rah. It was, it's bullshit, really. There's not much else really to say about that. Just, Sauce was just doing his thing and North Arse shit, so what can you do?
Mate.
Bang.
What's your opinion, Pato?
I just think it was kind of a bit of Horn Francis being a little bit of ahead of himself, I think. I just think that he was kind of just because he's pick one, he thinks he's above the world, really. But
let's talk about the rising star. Who should have got that?
Jack Carroll.
You agree?
Yeah,
he probably should have, but
definitely.
I think they base it off Bill Cup performances. He's been good the first month or so. I thought he wasn't great on the weekend. Butchered the footy a fair bit, but
I think it's always like that. Especially when they get the first rising star. They have a good game, of course, but I think it's just a build up, and of course you probably have to give it to it like a pick one because he hasn't had one yet. So I think
He'll have better games.
I know.
I just personally think the whole situation with the Horn Francis Silvani thing is just a waste of time.
Yeah,
why is the news even talking?
I know.
It must be a dry news week.
Exactly right. I think they have made a big deal out of it.
Yeah, 100%. But I think they've done it because this guy's big one. I personally think because this guy, they're trying to make
if it was Jai Simpkin, they wouldn't have been talking about it.
Yeah, but I think they've done it just because this guy's a high-profile player. They're trying to make him a high-profile player. And a lot of them have been saying, we love seeing that from younger guys. Yeah. They've been saying that, a lot, the media have been saying that, so,
Yeah, love dirty hits from behind, it's great.
They're trying to take the bump out of the game. Now you can't say anything either. Yeah. Bloody hell. Alrighty. Alright. The biggest thing I want to see, I don't know about you boys, is just consistent performance this week. Won by 50 points last week. I think we can, to be honest, get a comfortable enough-ish win.
Yeah.
It's the Crows. Obviously, I think they're a better team than North. But yeah, what about you, mate? You want to see a bit of consistency, Pato?
Yeah, 100%. I think just that's probably the main objective I'm kind of getting out of this game. It's just another four-quarter performance. Because, as we mentioned last episode, Adelaide need to respond from last week after that very disappointing loss to our Giants, so have to see a response from Adelaide. But also, hopefully Carlton can respond as well with another four-quarter performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really should be getting the job done, I think, against them. I think they're one of those middle-of-the-road teams. I think, obviously, they're in a pretty big rebuild. kind of probably biggest rebuild they've been through for a while. But we should be getting the job done. Looking at these matchups, I think we should be getting it done.
What are you, mate?
I think consistency is a big one for both teams because Adelaide's had some really good highs this year, but some pretty low lows as well. So I think if we're able to back up what we did last week, then regardless of how Adelaide play, I think we should get the job done.
Well said, mate. Well said. All right, we'll go to the big daft man for the key matchups, mate.
So key matchups. We'll start off again. McKay, Curnow. They're always the key forwards, and we always see how the other team's defence can really match up against them. So they got Jordan Butts and Billy Frampton, which we talked before, and I was a bit like, geez, they could break it open again. I've said it every week, haven't I? I've said it every week. Harry and Charlie can break this game open. What do you think, Pato?
Yeah, I need to be careful because last week I kind of said that the two defenders that we played last week were solid, but obviously they didn't really turn out to be too solid. But
one of them didn't play.
That's right.
They had bloody Bonner on Harry Mackay, which is a disgrace.
I think Jordan Butts is okay. I think one of the performances that he's actually played was I think Tom Hawkins when he kept him
last
maybe
year,
goals.
round line,
goals or maybe to one goal, and that's an awesome performance from Butts. So he's probably the threat. I think he'll go to Mackay. But Frampton, he's been okay, but I don't think we have anything too much to worry about.
Especially,
I think this is probably the matchup I'm probably most confident of. I think Butts, as I said, he's good. But I think just way too good. I think, and Frampton, who's been playing forward for most of his career, has only swung back a bit like Mitch McGovern this year. So he's still got a bit to learn. I think it might be a good learning curve for him this week.
Yeah,
Carlton, mate.
Yeah, mate. Well said. Wouldn't have any idea who any of them players are. So,
how do you think Harry and Charlie will go, mate?
Well, if they are as bad as what Pato says, then these defenders.
Oh no! Don't make it look like a super larky sort of moment.
Yeah, I think they should kick 10 between them, I guess.
Yep, too easy. Now we're looking at the midfield. So the standing captain for the Crows this week is Ben Keys. So he'll be taking on Cripper, who I think is almost a lock for the Brownlow. What do you think, Pato?
Lock. 7 rounds in, lock. Nah. He's playing very well. I think those two names should get the job done, Cripper. But Keys is playing well. He's playing well, but I don't think we have anything to worry about.
On that, how many votes typically would get you a Brownlow roughly?
At the moment, it's low to mid 30s at the moment.
Yeah.
So if we're saying 21, he's on 7 rounds.
How many games he's played?
Sorry, what he's got now? How many games?
So that's what.
He's played 5.
So 15?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
I'm telling you.
So I reckon he'll be on.
It's not bad, is it? Play another 5, he's almost won the Brownlow.
Put the house on, I reckon. What about you, Spacey? What do you reckon, mate, about Cripps and Keys?
Keys is a very, very good player. Ever since he got cut from Brisbane, he's just came out of nowhere really and dominated for Adelaide. But I think I don't want to say too much because that game a couple of years ago when they absolutely slaughtered us out of the midfield. But I think with Hewitt coming back as well in the middle, hopefully that will just be too good for them in there.
Please never remind me of that metric on Adelaide game because that was it's just shocking. So now we'll move on to the ruck, which is talked about obviously because our key ruck being out. So TDK versus O'Brien. This is a huge one, Pato. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think especially last week TDK did have a good performance. He did respond after he had some pressure. So once again, O'Brien's a great ruckman. He's really I rate him quite highly. He's probably not up with the top 3 or 4 ruckmen in the comp, but he's definitely around there. So it's probably a contest that once again we probably will lose hit outs, but we just have to be prepared with.
I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Like pretty much every week we can almost just. An assumption now that we're going to lose the hit-outs?
I think he did win the hit-outs advantage on the weekend, so it's an interesting stat, but I do get what you're
obviously, this is my position as well. I play ruck as well, so I know a bit about it, but I think TDK should get... we'll have a bit of a battle on his hands. Not the biggest battle he's had all year, but hopefully it goes all right, I reckon. What are you, Speechley?
Obviously O'Brien's probably having a bit of a down year this year compared to what he's normally been able to produce, but he's a superior ruckman in terms of the two, but I think the way our midfield group worked on the weekend with TDK, I don't think it'll matter too much.
Yeah, so moving now, talking about Tex before, he's had a great start to the season after coming back from his ban. It's going to be a huge matchup against Wiedering. Pato, give me something.
as we mentioned before, Walker's been pretty good. But I think, I personally think Wiedering has been good this year just because he's been locking down the defenders.
Yeah.
I think that's how I've kind of viewed him. He's probably not been there All-Australian form that he's been in past years, but I think he's been good with locking down his opponents. So, once again, Walker's a great forward. He's proved it for many years now, so it will be interesting, but hopefully Wiedering can get the job
And I think with Wiedering is young, the way he played on the weekend made it so much, freed him up a bit, which has obviously led to a goal. So, but it'll be interesting. Sammy?
Completely agree with you boys. Yeah. I mean, he's in great nick since he came back from obviously the incident.
Yep.
But I think Wiedering looked a bit better last week with, and obviously it is good that Young's playing this week, didn't cop that suspension. So I think we'll go right there. What about you, Speechless?
Yeah, I mean, I think Walker will probably kick 2 or 3 goals like he did last week. But I think in terms of the team defence with Young as well, as you guys said, just that intercept, and even the smalls as well with Sard, the intercepts working really well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, it was a really unified back six on the weekend. So now we'll move on to under the pump. Sammy?
I think you do expect that as well, don't you? Like you don't expect the key forward. Like Tace Walker, he's a good footballer. You don't expect him to kick a few goals.
Yeah.
But Weeders is going to go off for a bit. Whatever's going to happen, I think it's about minimising that blowout sort of thing.
Yeah, not letting him get 5, 6. You rather than get 2, 3.
Like we did last year. What did you kick last week?
3.
What did you kick last year?
7. So
there we go. All right, under the pump, boys. We'll go to you, Pato.
I just changed my there, boys.
You did, yeah.
But so it's very stiff on the guy. He's actually been pretty good this year, but there's no one really that stands out, and especially after last game, he didn't play it probably as well as he would have hoped. But I'm going with Corey Durden, small forward, just because Owies did pretty well. He responded. Would love to see Durden respond this week as well.
Does he lose? Is he a chance of being omitted? Who comes in if he does?
I think the only player that would come in is a Jesse Motlop, but I don't think he will be in just yet.
Okay, awesome. Ethan?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, Durden's under the pump. I think he's a young fella, so you just got to give him games, and I think he's going to be a small forward for us for a premiership tilt in years to come. For Carlton, I think under the pump is consistency, and that's every year we have a big win and we're all up and about, and then you just fall to a team like Adelaide, I don't think we will, but I think it's a big learning curve if we do end up winning this game this week. Because they're not an easy team, they're not a hard team, but you just got to get it done, get the job done. That's all we need to do. 4 quarters.
Absolutely, mate. I shouldn't have went to you first because that's pretty much what I've got written down. I guess the whole team in terms of just being inconsistent and getting the 4 points again this week.
Yep.
What about you, mate?
I completely agree with Pato. I think Durden, he hasn't hit the scoreboard for a while yet, and that's what when he was looking dangerous early in the season, he was applying that pressure and hitting the scoreboard. So I think. Yeah, it's got to be a focus for him to be able to hit the scoreboard.
How many tackles did he lay last week?
I think it was nowhere near as many as I always had 8, but I think it was probably 4. I think.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good though.
If they're 4 inside 50, that's good.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
If you're getting 2 goals out of him every game or 1-2 goals out of him, it's a good sign.
Just while we're on under the pump then, and you're talking about potentially Durden, potentially a chance to be omitted. What changes are you making to the lineup this week? Whether it's through injury, obviously Stocker's going to have to come out. Who comes in for him? Anyone else coming out? Or
I personally think that Durden needs to have another game because it's not like he's had a
shocker.
Yeah,
it's not a shocker.
Yeah, but I just think because especially on the weekend, I saw that he was bringing the pressure. So, but once again, there's only as much time that you bring pressure but have no impact on the game.
Absolutely.
So yes, you can have pressure, but also you need to have impact on the game, and that's what Corey Durden's done this year. But my ins personally is George Hewitt in, Williams in, coming in for Stocker, and Hewitt in for Noons. Very stiff on him, but I think Noons. He's been good, but it's once again, as what I would usually say, it's a great problem to have.
It is stiff. You would usually say that. It is stiff, though. I will agree. He's been playing. Yeah. I don't think he's been terrible. He's been all right.
Yeah.
I guess we win by 50 points. Most players are going to look half decent. But what about you, Heath?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm always really confused on if you don't omit the sub, does that mean he's in the side? Because I think that is. If he's not omitted, he's in the 22.
Yes,
but
because usually when it says out, it says many subs. I think.
So if you're based on your thing, Cottrell's going to be playing.
Okay, yeah.
So Cottrell.
I think I don't think Cottrell
will be playing. And I reckon they would have set of fielders. medical sub.
Yeah, that's.
You said Stocker's out. You said Nunes is out.
Yeah.
For
So
Hewitt
that
and Williams
Cottrell.
is in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
But
if I was to change that, I would have Cottrell out as well.
I would actually keep Cottrell in and have two
As
wingers. You'd have
medical sub.
O'Brien and Cottrell as wings.
You wouldn't put Carroll on the wing?
Nah, half forward mid. Don't change what it's not broken.
Okay.
You change what's not
who would you
broken.
think? So who would you think would come in for Hewitt?
For Hewitt,
I mean, out for Hewitt.
Stocker.
So,
So you got Stocker and Nunes out. So I agree with you.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cottrell's in with O'Brien.
So
on
keep
it.
Cottrell. Okay.
Yeah.
You blokes done having your personal conversation
sorry,
over
guys.
there. No, that's all good. That's all right. Who's in? Who's out?
Same. Hewitt Williams in. Stocker Nunes out.
Speechley.
Yep, I agree. Cottrell in to have that second win. Hewitt Williams in, Stock and Nunes out.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll go to you now, Pato. Injury update.
So obviously this week we found out that the big OMAC is unfortunately out for the season. He has re-injured his back with him being out for the season, which is unbelievable to think about because about a week ago he was a test to play VFL, even AFL, and then a week later he is out for the season. So what's your thoughts on that, Dad?
It's an interesting one because personally, if we had a few more key defenders, he wouldn't be close to the best 22. I think, even at Melbourne when they were struggling, he wasn't their best defender.
Yeah.
I think he's solid. Obviously, we need him for, defensive stocks. But, I think his career's on the line just due to the fact that he can't stay fit and obviously re-injuring that same thing he did last year. So, all the best to him. But, luckily we have Lewis Young.
Yep. Also on to McGovern. Obviously he did his hamstring again, and I think he may be out for the rest of the season, home away season. So hopefully, if we make the finals, he could return. But that is a absolute shock to see that. Sam, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not good, obviously, to see any player gets injured. But just because I don't think we certainly haven't got enough out of him, to be fair. And when he comes in, like last game he played, I can't remember where it was, but he looked good. And you want to see him out on the park. But unfortunately not to be. And just on the OMAC one as well. That's an interesting one because I think it was like a test to play, or he's 1 week away for about 3 to 4 weeks there, and then all of a sudden he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But
very good.
Wish them the best in their recovery.
Yep, spot on. And then lastly, the updated injuries with Liam Stocker. Obviously, we know a bit about this. He did his shoulder last week against the North Melbourne game. In the North Melbourne game, and he's potentially going to be out for 2 weeks. Speechley, what's your thoughts on that?
So it's that AC joint injury, so it's actually quite good to only be 2 weeks because that's a nasty one that can have you on the sidelines for a bit longer. So I think for him to only miss 2 weeks, or 1 additional week with the suspension, then that's a good result, really.
Yeah.
Also, just on that, as you said, he's only technically 1 week because he's suspended anyway, which is obviously why they didn't bother even challenging.
Yeah.
It's never good injuries.
No.
But I get the circumstances around the injury. He went in hard, you know what I mean? Like the bump. It was good to see. It's unfortunate he misses 2 weeks, but I love that bloke.
Yeah. No, 100%. That happened in the last quarter, didn't it? It was
maybe second half.
Yeah, maybe second half. But I mean, you love that, but unfortunately injuries do happen. But moving over to you, Sammy. What are your predictions?
Yeah. Alrighty, let's see who can get the closest this week. I'm excited to see who can get close. We're actually pretty average, to say
I reckon.
the least.
I mean, I've been totally off most weeks, but I reckon each week you guys have actually been somewhat close.
I was
not close
winning
last week.
Oh yeah, no, but I feel like there has been I don't think I've ever had a week where I've actually been close.
Yeah. Alright, before we go to the match predictions then, let me ask you one thing. What is your favourite Carlton versus Adelaide moment, mate?
In history.
In history.
History.
Throwing that on you, haven't I?
Oh, I think I was about 8 years old or 9 years old. I remember David Ellard kicked the winning goal Eddie had.
Yeah, that was good.
And he launched it from 50. I don't know what the game was. I don't know. I remember Tex Walker had a big mullet and he was about 19 years old. I just remember that moment, but I don't know when it was.
Yeah.
Like 2009, 2008. I just remember that goal. I remember everyone going off, and I was, little Ethan was,
Well,
we're going to be good.
Yeah. Mine is Skywalker.
Oh,
Do we remember that, Mark?
yeah.
It's pretty good. I reckon that was probably one of my favourite moments. I think he marked that I believe he kicked the goal. I mean, I hope he kicked the goal after. But I don't think there's been too many moments with Carlton Adelaide, but
you go.
Hold on, I'm next.
No, you go Fev.
That's what I was going to go,
come
obviously.
Come on now.
Yeah, you've cut me off there a bit, but anyway,
That's what I was gonna
we'll move on. But
It's good we're on the same page, right?
takes a mark, one grabber in the line, argues with the umpire, says he couldn't have, it could not be a mark. He was only a one grabber. He didn't juggle it or anything like that. He took it over the line, which is all you have to do. Obviously, what happens after that is irrelevant. And then he goes back, best kick in the club, slots the goal from 100 out.
totally forgot about that moment.
And
How could you, mate?
It was 2004 or something, wasn't
it was early, yeah.
Yeah.
But the game in general, and then that moment. Was that what you want to go, mate?
That was exactly what I was going to go,
Do you remember it well?
Oh, yeah, as a 2-year-old, I remember it well.
Yeah.
Well, I remember well. And all right, we'll get stuck into match predictions. Pato, how do you see the game unfolding, mate?
So hopefully I'm quite spot on this week, but I've got Corey Dern for first goal. Interesting one, I know.
You were dropping him 2 minutes ago.
No, I wasn't dropping him. I just wanted him to respond. So what a time to respond by kicking the first goal. Best on ground, Cripper. I think that's
Safe
just
option,
pretty much a
isn't it?
lock.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much a lock. And the Blue Baggers, I said 39 last week. I'm going Blue Baggers again by 39 this week.
Wow. It's a 39.
Yeah.
Likes it.
Like it.
What about you, mate?
So I've literally done my predictions just then. First goal, Owies. I think he lifted last week, and I think he'll go again, kicking the first snag and getting the Blue Baggers up and about. Best on ground, I'm going to leave this for the rest of the season. Brownlow Cripps. I'm not even
I
going to
thought
change
you were
it.
about Charles Brownlow.
Charles, yeah.
I'm just going to keep him.
Yeah.
Every week, I'm putting Brownlow Cripps on there. Tip Carlton, obviously. I don't think I've ever tipped against them. And margin 28 points.
Yeah.
Just being respectful of the crom.
Yeah.
Respectful. That's something you're not usually, so that's interesting to see. But you, mate?
I'm going out of the box for a first goal. I'm going to go Zach Fisher.
Zachy.
Off half forward, kick first snag. And I'm going to go Harry for Bog. Going to kick a bag, hopefully.
How many is that, guys?
Go 6.
6, all right.
And then Bags by 4 goals.
Like it.
24
Like it,
points.
Speechley.
Alrighty then. First goal, Charlie. He's been more right for me than wrong this season, I think. So he's done well there. Best on ground. Who's going to be best on ground? I think Charlie's going to kick a bag.
No worries.
How many?
I hope they both do.
6 goals,
6.
2.
He sells 2.
Yeah,
Straight
2
game.
behinds, yeah. I prefer that he didn't miss the 2. I prefer it was 8 goals straight. But
8 goals.
It'll
Straight.
take
he's only human, yeah? Blues by 60 points.
60 points.
It could be because, like,
Could be
you
blowout.
look at teams like Adelaide and they find it hard to back up after a terrible performance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm not saying that personally. I think they will be better.
I'm just scared that the last time Sam tipped an absolute blowout, it didn't go that way.
Who did we verse? Was that a
That was
goalie?
Gold Coast, yeah.
Jeez, that was a reality check for all of us. That
That was
day.
wrong.
What'd you say, like 75 points or something?
Something like that.
Honestly, though, I think that Gold
lost
Coast.
by 30 points.
Yeah, so.
But the other way.
Yeah. 100 points off. All right, boys. I think that's about it. Anything else we wanted to add beforehand?
Go Blues.
I think we should just very quickly just touch on the VFL preview as well.
Yeah, good point, mate. I was just bringing it up. Where are we playing this week since you brought it up?
I assume we're playing at Frank's.
Frankston, I think. Yeah.
On a Saturday night. But it's going to be a good opportunity for some players that are trying to get into the senior side to have a good performance.
You getting down?
I don't think I will, unfortunately.
All right, fair enough. You?
Nah, I've got a footy function.
Fair enough. You?
I think I'm just going to stray away from Frankston.
Yeah.
Hey!
Whoa!
Shout out.
Shout out, Freya.
Whoa! Alrighty.
The Dolphins.
Speech notes.
They should get the job done. though.
Watching.
Yeah.
They should get the job done. I think.
Yeah.
Well, Dolphins.
Oh,
are-
absolutely.
They're a standalone team.
Yeah. No.
Nick Newman's
That's a bit
brother's actually
Leave
captain
that
of the Frankston Dolphins. So
Right.
yeah, good footballer.
Shout out.
Josh Newman, I think.
There you go, mate. The more you know. All right. Thanks, boys. It's been a pleasure as always. Second episode here from the Baggers Chat owned studios. And if you're not already, like, follow, subscribe, share, do it all. And Pato.
And as always, boys,
The Vegas.